Seconds ago, 20 seconds ago, 25 here, sorry about that. That's the exaggeration in me. As we get mic'd up, you want to talk a little bit about like the the integration stuff and how it's been kind of integrating with Juniper-Mist and how does this whole thing work? Like something connects to somewhere and stuff like that, and how has it been working with the Juniper API and kind of talk through some of the integration stuff. I know you have had zero time to prepare, but like yeah.
Well, maybe first, how has it been working with Mist API? So I guess there's nothing else than to complement it, but yeah, it's true that it actually has been like the easiest API to work with, and they give the most amount of data. So I don't think there has been like any time that I have been like frustrated that we are missing this from Mist, because they usually provide all the data. But yeah, how the APIs and the integration work, we used to have like this couple of workflows, like exporting data from Hamina to the vendor or importing it back. So you can import the floor plans or just the inventory, and then you can, if you import the inventory, you can map the devices with the simulated ones in Hamina, and then you can export those back if you have the devices on the vendor cloud. And yet the latest thing that we have been doing is this live view, which you saw earlier when Jussi and Dan was speaking. So there we kind of provide the live situation of the network, which is kind of a read-only view of the network, and then you can troubleshoot based on that. So that's what we've been working lately, and I think we'll be working in the future also.
At times we do co-development of APIs with the vendor as well. For example, the AP to AP signal stuff, that wasn't there when we started integrating, right?
Yeah, that wasn't there, and we talked together with the Mist people, and we got that working. And yeah, I think it was fairly quick that Mist implemented that for us, and yeah, we also, as you said earlier, we try to be vendor neutral, but it's hard to like for other vendors to keep up with the stuff.
Yeah, they're pretty fast, and the whole mobility field day is a good motivator. Like if you can get Sudhir to commit to something to happen to be released at mobility field day, then everybody else just has to cope with the timeline that Sudhir set. So. Yeah. But yeah, it's been quite interesting, and for example, in our case, we don't just use the standard get API calls only. We also, like you said, we automatically deploy new sites into the Juniper system after the plan, stuff like that. But also the live view, in there we use different kinds of mechanisms to kind of bring the live client status to life, right?
Yeah, so traditionally we use the REST APIs that Mist provides. So this would be like for the get operation or post operations to get data or export it back to Mist. But for the live, we have also started to utilize the WebSocket that we can listen in as the data comes in. And that's of course important if we want to show something in real time. All the vendors have some sort of rate limits for the REST API, so that puts some sort of restrictions what we can do. But with the WebSockets we can bypass this, and maybe also with the webhooks, I think Mist supports those. We don't use them yet, but that could be something also we could use in the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
Okay. I'm in now, apparently. Yeah, okay. So I guess one of my questions might be, what do you see kind of being the kind of next thing that might come from this partnership that we have with Juniper?
Oh gosh, that's a pretty scary question.
It's a big one.
I guess I'm gonna steal your stuff from before for the history data that someone from the audience asked. So I guess that would be quite cool if we could, like, the user could just like select a spot in time in the history that how things worked like 2 weeks ago at 7 p.m. So I think that would be pretty nice if we could make it work without blowing up the APIs.
Exactly right. But yeah, we need to work within the restrictions, right? Because we want to respect the stability of the cloud and the APIs and all of that.
Yeah, and also I think in broad terms, I think like this real-time stuff that we have been now starting to do with the live client view. That's something I think we could think a bit more and utilize those a bit more.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for those of you who are not familiar with how the system works, so if we have like on the right, we have the Mist, a typical Mist site, and like as Mist always says, they collect a boatload of telemetry data, but also, of course, the cloud knows all the Mist cloud knows all the configurations of the APs, all of that kind of stuff. They get a boatload of telemetry data. They also now, expose through the APIs the AP to AP data, so how every access point hears every other access point, and advanced kind of RF characteristics like that. And that data, like most of this is now available for, I'm gonna say we're Ham, is now available through the APIs for us and for anybody else. So if you're creating your own automation scripts, your own, even like your own Wi-Fi management portals, like for example, some of the MSPs here have done for various vendors, including Mist. You can find probably a past Mist webinar that we did with when I was at Mist still, with Mark Edwards, who's the head of Walmart Enterprise Networking, or he owns that product. They've done their own complete Wi-Fi ERP system where they heavily use the Mist APIs as well as other vendor APIs, so that's what we do as well, and that's what you can do. So there's open interface here. We ask for a boatload of stuff. I'm slightly simplifying what your work, but essentially we get a boatload of one-time requests, data streams, and stuff like that, and then we can bring things to life on our end. But also, what people still don't know necessarily is that it can work two ways quite seamlessly. We can import the inventory first from Mist, for example, and then assign which serial number is which AP on the map in Hamina and stuff like that. So assign the APs, which one goes where, and then click a button in Hamina and we commission the entire site while you have control of which AP gets deployed where, and Hamina kind of commissions the whole site. And if you have config templates, it just starts to run while preserving that control. And if you do, but you don't need to do that for live view, right? You can go straight into live as well after starting the new project.
Yeah. If you just have the API key,
yeah,
as you saw in the earlier.
Yeah, you probably need that.
Just one click and you see the live situation.
Absolutely.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys, and enjoy the rest of the show. Is it coffee break time? Excellent. Thank you so much.